game. Gone, feel it in your bones. You ain't gonna feel it till I'm gone. Caught up in your feelings, now you froze. And everything around you getting cold. The chill is in my bones. Caught up in my feelings, now I'm froze. I don't really feel it till you gone. And everything around me getting gone.
Bit of a sloppy track here in Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chicago Bears. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Right to the air is Mahomes. This one completes Alec Pierce. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The end result, 21 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes our job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And they're going to face a third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Mahomes looks to throw on third down. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelsey. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
On 1st and 10 is Spiller. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flipped it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Spiller hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are on the board first here this afternoon. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Okay, ready?
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
2nd and 5. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. He'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So their first drive of the game already trailing, having given up points. But a little surprised that they went for it, right?
Maybe the big guy, the head coach, senses this is going to be a shootout type of a game. That they've got to match them point for point, as opposed to, hey, we'll get them later. Maybe he just has that sense, and that's why he decided to go for it there.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
On 2nd and 7, Mahomes. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. This defense for the Bears, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And one of the key numbers that I look at after every game, total yards allowed. They held them under 200 yards of total offense. Just couldn't sustain much of anything against them. Great job showing them different looks and then attacking.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Mahomes going to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. When those extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a touchdown on their opening drive and 3 more here, and it adds to their first quarter lead.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan so far because the offense has moved the ball, defense able to do their job, and here the special teams unit comes through with their contribution. A field goal to make it 10-zip.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and break it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Nope.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
Well, it cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. It's their quarterback with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bears have cut it back within a score.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
McCann's got it teed up. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
From the 29, Mahomes. This one is caught. It's Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 46. They run behind center with Spiller. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 61 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Orlando Brown, the former Raven, the guilty party. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now Mahomes. Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Like what I've seen so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and that will keep this a 3-point game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. 4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. This will be fielded at the 17. 35 yards that time on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. He gets this out to Spiller. Room here to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring. And another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big stroke like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll drop to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Back to throw again. And that will be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. On the return, it's King. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On first down, Mahomes. That is caught by Lamb. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A nice gain of 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Mahomes now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mahomes going to throw deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. Open man Lamb. It's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 13-yard line. 13 yards down to the 13. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Alec Pierce in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just 1 snap of the football. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Here we go.
Third quarter starting with a run from Montgomery. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
Right back to Spiller on 2nd down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey.
43, 43. Hey, 43, 43, 15.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Ready?
He'll look to throw. This pass on target, Velus Jones with it. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes run a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. That's complete to Mooney. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
Ready.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. He'll look to throw. Yeah, he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Bears are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. McCann's got it teed up. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Dancing to his left. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Bears are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That's good for 28 yards. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 42-yard line. They'll try the middle with Munt. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find a good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Right back to Spiller on 2nd down. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Here's Mahomes to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And just a net of 31 here, 40-yard punt, 9 on the return, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Right now, they're in a bit of a tough spot here, CD. You trail them by double digits. Remember the last time out, they fumbled. They're going to have to play some clean football here on this possession.
And all the talk on their sideline has been about taking care of the football, making sure that they're handling the ball correctly. So you know they'll be squeezing the rock pretty tight here. They just have to be careful not to go so hard at doing that they actually cause themselves other problems. Take care of the ball, but still try and play free and natural.
3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Back to throw here. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. and probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Now a throw here to his running back. He's got room at the 30. Now he's loose down the left sideline. Touchdown, Bears! Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now, we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. The second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
On second down, Spiller looking for space. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And he's got the hook up to Moore. 7 yards there and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
He praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So the completion good for 6 yards. And now it's 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
He was brought down by Mahomes for a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 24-yard line.
Straight ahead, it's Spiller. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. They're backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Mahomes going to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Butker's kick here is good, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that gets him a little bit of breathing room, but not much. And you have to think back to the field goal that he missed earlier. This would be a 2-score game right now if he had converted then.
And if you and I are thinking about it, you know he is as well, because in the back of his mind, he's thinking, I hope I get one more shot in an important spot. He just made that one. He wants one more later to truly make up for the earlier miss.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Back to throw. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
Pass to the right. There's Jones. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 30. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. He's back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. I see you nodding your head up and down. That's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. They team up there to pick up the first. He'll look to throw. And this will be caught. Touchdown. So in the final minute here now, a 2-point conversion will tie the game.
The touchdown's massive, but now they've got to have 2 to possibly take this to overtime.
The late touchdown was only half the battle. Now they need the 2-point conversion to tie the ball game. They'll look to throw. And they don't get it. It's incomplete. They got the touchdown, could not, however, get the 2-point conversion to cap it, and they're still down by a pair. And the Chiefs have got it. And with that, they should have a victory as well. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.
So for the Chiefs, the victory moves them to 7-1 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Las Vegas Raiders. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11.